white man has lost his dream. His zombie is about to ensue, but is it already here? I'm suggesting that what is happening to us with this Machiavellian onslaught that we're dealing with, people need to move outside of their egos and start to get conscious and spiritually at one with what's going on here. And stopping having this sense of other, this duality, the oneness is paramount. There's the enrichment, there's the empowerment. And until you're at one with people in country, the devastation goes on not just in this country, but worldwide. And what I'm saying by way of what blackfellow do and how we kept the gardens God gave it. And there are very good reasons why that is so. For a start, we're not hoarders, we're hunters and gatherers. With hoarders, you get enough money to chuck the absolute truth and spiritual ones out the window and do whatever you damn like. With a hunter and gatherer, you better be in tune with people and countries, otherwise you're going to starve pretty quick. You've got to be in tune with people and country. Now, I'm not saying we all go back to being hunters and gatherers, but unless you get into your head some of those principles of hunting and gathering that Jesus, by the way, says a few things about, then you've lost. We lose before we start. And in terms of blackfellow and understanding layered titles rather than absolute titles, you're marrying in and out of country all the time. It's a layered title, not absolute. In understanding that, the Palestinian-Israeli conflicts could be solved. Go back to your elders as your authorities, your men's and women's business as your disciplines, and you initiate the new ones in. It's pretty simple, basic, simple stuff. Using blackfellow institutions of elders as the authority, the men's and women's business as disciplines, and you initiate the new ones in. Those are our four estates in the white society or the Machiavellian society or the monarchist society, whatever it is. You've got the four estates of the Queen, the Parliament, the judiciary and the media. That's the four institutions of the invader and occupier. Those are their four institutions. What I'm saying is those institutions are not here to give us a sustainable society and look after people. They're built to go out and conquer, exploit and genocide in the same mode as the Roman Empire and the Machiavellian principles. That's your government. I'm saying it is not a government fit for anyone. You need to get back to a sustainable government. Elders, men, women, initiation. What I'm also saying is these principles are universal. This should be happening all over the world in order to get this sustainable. And what I reckon some people don't seem to realise is that in terms of the environment, like you've got Australia about to open up more coal mines and they're opening up more uranium mines, and they're accusing us of being pedophiles so they can take away our native title rights so they can go in the Northern Territory and in Queensland, like, you know, even Noel Pearson, that everyone thought was selling out, has been overridden by the Queensland state government on what they want to do in terms of their native title rights up there. It's happening right across the country in devastating fashion. In the Kimberley it's happening. There's a whole big gas thing going on there. And at the end of the day, it's not sustainable. And blackfellow, in terms of doing these infrastructures, is the only sustainable way of doing it. So the sooner we get on with it, the better. And by going to that website, these websites, we can begin to do that. And it's essential we do it for not just our problems. The whole world comes through a pretty devastating situation. These are real things that are coming at us, and like the massive increases in population are going to be unsustainable in this country. Insanity is about to ensue, if it isn't already here. And I'm saying, by way of these treaty circles, when the Woolworths drinking goes down, and we do have to depend on hunter-gatherer methods in order to maintain a sustainability, I'm saying these circles will be the lifelines we hang on to. As the rest goes to hell, hopefully we get taken up in the rapture. It's a theory.
Sorry.
It is pretty simple contract and equity law. If the sovereignty has passed from us to them, where's the contract? Where's the instrument? Where's the lawful instrument that transfers that sovereignty? There is no contract. It must be back to the original owner. Given that somehow they get around the contract argument, it's hardly equitable what's going on. 51% of our youth being incarcerated is hardly equitable. Suspending the Racial Discrimination Act to do away with the native title, limited native title rights to stop that may have stopped them mining uranium and dumping the damn stuff there is hardly equitable. Because of native title, we are all now Australian citizens and we're all doing fine, thank you. Your sovereignty doesn't come into play here. That's the mainstream mentality. But once you state your sovereignty as a sovereign right, certain things at law do come into play, at contract and at equity. If you go in and say, yes, I'm begging you for my native title rights under your regime, then you have to cop whatever they give you or don't give you. Under your sovereign state, which has never been relinquished, has never been taken, it's there. You state your sovereign position, then where is the contract? Where is the equity? Until you state your sovereignty clearly and unequivocally, the concepts of contract and equity don't come into play. You get whatever the government is going to hand you. So it is essential, A, for the statement of sovereignty, and the only way a sovereign situation can be resolved is by way of treaty, and this is in terms of nation states in man-made laws. But I'm saying we have a sovereign right as custodians of this land under God's law, which brings into play the whole biblical references. And if you look at the Bible references, the biggest crafted a thing that may interest you. I confess that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh, not to change or challenge the law, but to fulfill it, in particular Leviticus the restoration. 1 John 4:2, Matthew 5:17, Leviticus 25:10, and I'll throw in 1 Kings 21, just for good luck, which is Naboth's vineyard. Australia is Naboth's vineyard, if any is familiar with the Bible. In terms of the desperate positions we find ourselves in, I was very tempted, and I did canvass the idea with people back where I come from, up Wollongbar way, in New South Wales, that perhaps what I should be doing here is calling for an interfaith fatwa on the Australian government, institutions and citizens until they stop genociding us. Would that be a fair comment?